3.
Hello, Jack London boys and girls. This is Mrs. Allen coming from the Jack London Garden again. Listen, I'm here 2 days after Halloween, and I bet you had a good one, but I have a question for you. How many of you stopped in the middle of the festivities to howl at the moon? I bet not many of you did, so I want you to stand up right now and let's hear a howl, because part of today's lesson is celebrating the moon. Here we go. Are you ready? Oh! Wow, good for you. You know, while we were celebrating the moon, it was a full moon on Halloween night, and it was also what they call a blue moon. Two full moons in 1 month. But what's really cool is that this was the first time in 76 years that we had a full moon on Halloween. So you might want to do a little research on that and hear more about the moon, because we're going to connect the moon and the garden and holidays today. I was thinking about the moon, and I was thinking, and the garden, and I was remembering that my mom planted herbs in Minnesota around the Easter full moon. And was thinking, I wonder why she did that. And I have a feeling it was probably had to do with the gravitational pull from the moon that helped the plants germinate, and that was the perfect time in Minnesota to plant her herbs. It was right after winter. And so that brings me to our herb garden here at Jack London. It's beautiful. What's so wonderful about herbs is you use all your senses. You can smell them. You get to taste them. They have wonderful different sounds when you squiggle at them. And you can, yes, all of it, all the senses, especially the tasting is really fun. So, if you didn't howl at the moon, I bet I can guess something you did do on Halloween. Eat lots of candy. Raise your hand if you ate candy at Halloween. Oh my goodness. Now raise your hand if you got a tummy ache. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Well, you know what? Part of that is we eat too much sugar, especially at Halloween. And in our herb garden here, we have an alternative or a different way of getting sugar. And right over here, we have our stevia. And stevia is, some of you have already tasted it, but there's stevia. You can see the word, and now watch me, because when I take just a teeny taste of a tip of the stevia, and I just savor it, it tastes totally sweet. And I know people here at Jack London that actually dry the stevia, grind it up, and put it in their pumpkin pies and in their tea and different things as a substitute for sugar. So that's kind of exciting. It's really fun to come out here and taste stevia. And then we have some other herbs here, and I'm now thinking, after Halloween, thinking about Thanksgiving dinner. And one of the wonderful smells you will get is from combining, when stuffing is made, we have sage, comes from our sage plant here. And I'm going to put a little sage in my hand. Kind of scrunch it up a little bit because I really want to smell it. And right next to the sage, we have some onion. Ooh, and we know onions have a wonderful smell. So I'm mixing the onion with the sage. And then our herb garden provides us with rosemary. Actually, we have a lot of rosemary all over Jack London. And I'm going to again squeeze it up so I can really, now I'm smelling the combination of sage and onion and rosemary. And then over here is the bush of thyme. Way over in the corner is some thyme. And Mrs. Allen already took some thyme from there, and I'm going to add that to my mixture of herbs in my hand. And you know, when I scrunch them all up and I smell them, wow, it's like walking into the house on Thanksgiving when the Thanksgiving turkey is just ready to be put on the table. It smells wonderful. So we have our Thanksgiving dinner and our herbs. Now, after Thanksgiving dinner and a lot of pumpkin pie and, you know, a while after all the candy we ate, we need to brush our teeth. And here we have, and already you know, I bet you know, I'm going to click that and break it in half. And it's a really, really pungent smell of mint. And many of you have done that before here in the garden. And you recognize it as something, it smells like toothpaste, a lot of kids say. So that's something else in our herb garden that's really, really interesting. And then after the holidays and everybody's kind of tired, you probably want to just relax some night and have a pizza. And here we go, oregano in our garden. And when I crunch that up, it smells like pizza. And that's the herb that you find in the tomato sauce on your pizza. So children, the herb garden is a wonderful place to come and use all of your senses and think about the holidays and good food that's provided for us and the moon and the garden. And isn't it amazing how everything connects? Think about that. Everything you do, it all connects. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And let's take a moment and thank all the parts of our garden. Thank you, sun. Thank you, soil. Thank you, rain, for giving us stevia and mint and sage and onions and rosemary and thyme and oregano. And then let's just take that camera and take a look at how our garden has grown in the last couple of months. So much to be grateful for. Good food and tomatoes that are still producing. Isn't that wild? All right, kiddos. Have fun doing a little research on the moon and planting the garden. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.